You're watching Kickin' It with Onrie, the live shopping show. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Kickin' It with Onrie, the live shopping show. I'm your host, Onrie Compen. We're back on my channel for the first time in a couple weeks now. Man, with all the traveling, I've actually been off the air for a little while now. So at least on my channel, the one channel I've been most consistent with was The Experience. But I am back, and we got a great show for you guys today. This morning I went and got some stuff done on my car, and it was really close to Dreamland Comics in Libertyville. And so I went over there and picked up a bunch of stuff here. We got a nice big fat stack of books here for you guys. And then we have a bunch of stuff that I showcased yesterday. So if anybody missed yesterday's show, I'm going to go through that stuff again. We've got some cool new FOMO books for you guys, and lots of great conversation and good times to be had. As always, if you spend $25 you're going to get to spin the wheel at the end of the show, and you're going to win something no matter what. And if you spend $50 with me, you're located within the United States, I got you on shipping. And if also this is your first time shopping with me and you're located within the United States, I will hook you up with free shipping as well. What is up, Phil? How you doing? Chill Phil, the guy who created our intro for the show, which is awesome. We are now 7 months into using this, almost 8 months into using our new intro, Phil, and I am absolutely loving it. It is customized. It feels just the way I want it to feel. Thank you for doing that. You're awesome. Tori, how you doing? Good to see you. We got a nice room filling up here, and that's fantastic. I'm really happy about that. I actually forgot to do something yesterday. The first two books on the board today were actually claimed by Phil. So Phil, those 3 FOMO books that you got, I got you. So last night I was hoping, hey, when I get back on the air, it'd be really great if all of our FOMO books, just got sold on the first day. So we sold through all of our FOMO books, which means I'm going to have to kick off today's episode by bringing out two other books here. And luckily, I have quite the collection here. So I'm sure I can find something pretty quickly here. Let's see. Give me just 1 second. I'll find 2 books here. And we'll get the show started, and I'll start giving you guys the goods. Let's do this. A little bit more bright. All right, so first book of the afternoon is Superman, the Man of Steel, number 19. This is part of the Death of the Superman run here. And this is typically a $10 book, but I'm going to do it today for just $5. This is one of the books that I showcased during our Superman themed show. And I'm going to put it back up here. And then I have House of Secrets 92. This is a foil facsimile of the first appearance of Swamp Thing. This is going to go for $15. You did personalize it for me, man. That really meant a lot to me. No, it's all good, and that's why I did this afternoon show. But mainly, I wanted to do everything kind of changes week to week right now because I'm on tour. So it just depends on when I have time and availability, and I don't want to overdo it with shows or catch it off my schedule. Kind of just go with the flow of my schedule. But on Friday, I'm going to be busting out an entire long box of Fantastic Four books. We're all going to go see the movie tomorrow, me and the boys. Tomorrow's Alan's birthday, so we're taking him to go see Fantastic Four in the afternoon. So I'll be able to curate tomorrow or Friday's show based on what I find out about the movie, which I'm really excited about. And I hope you guys are too. It looks really good. All right, next book we got here is Comics Interview number 144. We got interviews here with Don McGregor and Richard Howell, and a theme of bad girls. Everybody likes bad girls. This is going to go for $20 today. $20 on Comics Interview number 144. That is in near mint condition. You can look up the book online. It is marked accordingly. The next book I have here is Web of Spider-Man number 125. This is a pretty cool issue here. It's got a little hologram, 3D hologram thing, and it is the Scarlet Spider. And in this issue, we have the return of Gwen Stacy, but it's not Gwen Stacy, it's actually her clone. And she's reaching out to a very beaten down Peter Parker, who is going through a lot. He's been arrested, his aunt just died, so he's in a very vulnerable place, and it is the Jackal who is behind all of this madness here, and he is putting all these chess pieces in place. Honestly, Jackal is one of my favorite villains. I honestly rank him up there with Green Goblin, and he's also one of the most underrated villains that Spider-Man has. And the thing I like so much about Jackal is how personal he makes everything with Spider-Man. You know, he knows his secret identity and he uses it against him in the most vicious way by creating clones of him, by making him question who he is and everything. Like, he's a really fantastic and very underutilized villain. If they did something with the Jackal in any kind of Spider-Man movie, I think it would have to be done in a very dark way. I don't know how you can make this villain light. He is really one of the most, if not the most, underrated Spider-Man villains of all time. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if you agree. The way he died initially, too, was also messed up. Blew himself up. Made Spider-Man think he was dead for years. And then basically, cryogenically froze himself while pumping all these kinds of, mutant chromosome, mutation stuff into him to turn himself into a giant-sized human Jackal. Miles Warren, that is a class villain right there. All right, I have Wolverine number 36. We got a Joe Quesada variant cover here. This is going to go for just $5 today. Really cool book here. I really love this cover. What did you do once? You cloned yourself once? I think if it was with Roberto, it'd be more of like a multiplicity situation where he clones himself and then his clones clone themselves, and then they end up with the number 4. I really like multiplicity too. You can't have enough Mike Keaton. That's all I can say. That was the best part about that movie. And then Andy McDowell got railed by like all 4 Michael Keatons in that movie. Oh, okay, cool. I can kind of see the werewolf thing, Roberto. I can kind of see it. You know what I've been able to clone is the amount of times I've been canceled. It's like every single time it's like a new version of canceled, It's like more evolved every single time. Cancel cloning is what we call it in the South. In the Midwest, sorry. We call it that in the Midwest. I have Batman 500. Joe Quesada cover again, just like that Wolverine. But this is the final chapter of Nightfall, one of my favorite Batman stories of all time. And in this issue, we see Jean Paul Valley suit up as Batman after Bruce Wayne's back has been broken. And he goes right after Bane. And I love this outfit. This is awesome. This is just such a cool issue. We got a little postcard in here you can rip out and, send someone an invoice with. There's just the battle between Bane and Jean Paul Valley it's epic. This is just a really solid issue of Batman. Even if you haven't read any of the other issues of Nightfall and you just read this, you can still enjoy it. It's like that. This is one of those examples where every comic is someone's first. Actually makes sense. And this is going to go for $5 today. $5 for Batman 500. It can be yours for only $5. Next up, I have Uncanny X-Men number 350. This is a really cool cover. It's got a foil Gambit, a Gambit size, and his cards. They're all foil, and the little energy that goes around him, that's all foil. This is a really beautiful cover here. Uncanny X-Men 350. This is going to go for $5. Edge of Canceled. Actually, Edge of Tomorrow was a pretty good movie. I liked it. I thought it was really good. What did you guys all think of Edge of Tomorrow? It's a movie Max and I need to see. It's like an allegory for, trying to achieve something that takes a really long time. You just keep failing until you get to the end point. There's never a point where you're succeeding. You're just failing your way upwards. All right, I have Green Lantern number 84 by Dave Gibbons. This is going to go for just $4 today. I had it priced originally at 10. I'm marking it down to 4 right now. This is a very fine copy of the book. We got a Green Lantern TV show coming up soon. Looks like it's very well cast. Guy Gardner is returning for it. I knew that Guy Gardner was going to steal the show in Superman. He was perfectly cast. He was set up to do exactly what he needed to do. And after that Green Lantern show, we're going to see a darker version of him. Apparently, he drops the F-bomb a bunch. Actually, not darker, more unfiltered version of him. And he's going to be dropping the F-bomb like you can't imagine. Supposedly. Allegedly. I have Daredevil number 200. We got a direct edition copy, John Byrne cover. It's in good shape. I'm going to say this is a very fine on this for sure. The bag is a little beat up, but the book itself is fine. Let me take it out so you guys can see it. So I'm doing this one for $10 today. You can see it's in really good shape. Milestone issue. Looks great. Absolutely great. William Johnson on the pencils, but the cover is done by John Byrne, and it is one hell of a cover. Honestly, as much as I love John Romita Jr., I feel like his current covers on Daredevil have not been as wonderful as I would like them to be. I feel like they're lacking a lot. But this John Byrne cover, though, this is something else. This is going to go for $10. It's like they hired John Romita Jr. to be the cover artist on Daredevil, but it's like I feel like they're not giving him enough to make dynamic covers. He is certainly capable of making very dynamic covers. I love John Romita Jr.'s work, but it's almost like editorials like, do whatever you want. It doesn't feel like they're just like, here's some direction, John, go with the flow and do something really cool and innovative for us. Like the last few covers have just been like the same concept over and over again. If you're reading the current Daredevil run. And actually, aside from the covers not being the most dynamic, the book itself has been really a great read. I've been enjoying it. I have Marvel Spotlight on Nick Fury number 31. I'm going for just $3. $3 on this. Spawn number 15. Been holding on to this for a while. First appearance of Medieval Spawn, and it's going for just $5 right now. You go to any comic shop, you're going to pay $10, $15 plus tax, plus all this and everything. You get it here right now. It is just $5. That's it. $5, it's yours. It's got to move. I've had it for too long. Superman, the Man of Steel, number 1. 48-page first issue. We're going to do this today for just, I'll do it for $3. Perfect jump on point for the Man of Steel. The New Mutantes, number 1. New Mutants, number 1. I'm going to do this for $10. It's a direct edition copy. Again, it's a very fine. Looks pretty good to me. Man of Steel. Man of Steel gone for a good deal. All right. And then I have, no one wants this book at all. I'm not even interested in pitching this book because no one wants it. I have the Flash movie special. We could get away with these shenanigans on the Experience, but this is just not going to happen on my channel. The Flash might have sold by a fluke the other day on the Experience, but he's not getting anywhere today. This book is going to be sitting here for a while. We got the Flash TV special. That's a total snore fest, going for $3. I'm yawning just thinking about it. I don't even want to open this book up. It's like, geez, who wants this? Yawn. And it's only going for $3. Like, gosh, that's too rich for your blood. I get it. I don't even know why I'm opening this book up. Like, what a waste of effort here. It's like, my God. And it's all like thick. Like, no one likes thick comics, especially for $3. Like, you want to spend a lot more money on like a thick comic. I mean, seriously, this is just such a stupid ripoff. What an idiot I am for selling this book for only $3. Like, this is such a terrible deal. Awful. I mean, you get like two new comics starring TV's Flash. It's not even regular Flash. It's certainly not Ezra Miller Flash, but it's definitely Flash. So therefore, it's just going to stay here and no one's going to buy it. And I get it. It's okay. You guys can hate all you want. I'm right there with you. That's why I'm just going to purposely go out and buy as many Flash books as I can. This is going to go for exactly $3 for the Flash. It's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. I know it. That's going to be here for the rest of eternity. I'll be sleeping with that book. It's not going anywhere. That's for sure. No, definitely no one wants that book. Guy Rose. I have Incredible Hulk 270. Very fine on this. That's going to go for $5. Newsstand copy. And Requiem for Dracula, #1. That's going to go for $3. Yeah, it's good window dressing. It's like kind of like, hey, keep away from this book. That's kind of what it is. It's sort of like a stop sign. Like, stop, don't buy this Flash comic. Hate on this Flash comic. I can feel your anger. All right. I got some cool sets here. So the first one I have is Lex Luthor, Man of Steel. Hey, how great was Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor? I think he did an incredible job. We got #2, #3, #4, and #5. All 5 parts of Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo's Lex Luthor, Man of Steel, going for just $15 today. The entire set, $15 on Lex Luthor, Man of Steel. And then for my personal collection, I busted out Superman versus the Terminator, Death to the Future. I have all 4 parts of this by Alan Grant and Steve Pugh, or Pugh or Pug, I'm not sure. It's Pugh. Puff, Steve Puff. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's the entire series. I recently read it. It's interesting. So Superman is helping John Connor and Sarah Connor flee from Terminators who are constantly being sent back one after the other to kill John Connor. And Superman is trying to protect them, but apparently the Terminators themselves are constantly coming. So what ends up happening is Superman has to go into the future to stop them. And when he gets to the future, he finds out that the cyborg Superman is actually working with Skynet, and that Superman actually died trying to stop this Skynet a long time ago, thanks to him. So all the super people in the present are trying to prevent all the horrible things from happening in the future. The stakes are high, and it's an interesting crossover. I'm going to do this today for a lot of these books actually sell for about $10 a pop. So we're normally looking at a set here that's at about $40. Right now, I'm just going to do it for $25. So I'll save you $15 on it, and you get the whole run. You don't got to hunt anything down. I got all of Superman versus Terminator going for that price. And actually, let me price check that. Yeah, that's a flash I see up there, Katrina. You do see a flash. It's pretty gross. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disgust you. Actually, okay. You know what? There's someone selling the entire set up there for $10 with shipping and everything. It's 15. So I'll tell you what. I'll take it down from 25 down to. We'll do it at 15. I think that's a comparable price. So $15. You know what you're getting here because I'm showing it to you. So $15 on the Superman versus Terminator. I just took another $10 off. I price checked myself for you because I really want to make that deal for you. I have X4 from Akira Yoshida and Pat Lee and Dreamwave Studios. We got number 1 of 5, number 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, and 5 of 5. And the artwork in here is really, really sensational. If you're into, manga and all that kind of art, this is not only that same type of style, but it is also in full color. So it's from Dreamwave Studios, and it's a crossover between the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. It's actually written by C.B. Cebulski, who used the pen name Akira Yoshida. You have FF FOMO. Well, there you go. See, there's a lot of cool X-Men, Fantastic Four crossovers, and I think that with Avengers Doomsday, we're going to see a lot of stuff happening with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. That movie is going to be all about universe consolidation, and I think they're going to do away with the multiverse. They're just going to create one streamlined universe. Everything's going to get destroyed, and I think Doom will come out ahead of it, honestly. I don't think he's going to win, but I don't think they're going to be able to defeat him. And then after that, everything will just be set in one universe. We'll see multiple Fantastic Four movies. We'll see the Avengers return. We'll see team-ups of them coming together. Everything will be back as it was prior to Endgame, which will be interesting. We got all of X4, 1 through 5, going for 15. I'll do that for 15 as well. So we have Lex Luthor, Superman versus Terminator, Death of the Future, and X4 1 through 5. All of these sets here are going to go for 15 a pop, so nice and easy with the prices. And now let's get going on the new stuff that I just picked up today. Some really big releases this week. We got another issue of Batman Hush that came out, so we're like 2 issues away from seeing the conclusion of the 6-issue run. So Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee and Scott Williams, that whole band, they got back together to do a sequel to Hush. Honestly, it hasn't been that great. It feels very dialed in. But I'm the kind of person that likes to wait till the end. And I'm also the kind of person that can sometimes enjoy things even if they aren't the greatest. Like, for example, I really liked All-Star Batman and Robin. Even though it was a total train wreck of a story, I enjoyed it. There was a lot there. Even when Max Allen and I watched Man of Steel over the weekend, even though it was not a good movie and it had a lot of faults, there's a lot of lessons you can learn from how the story is being told and the way people do things in that movie the way they would never do them in reality, which just makes it more cringeworthy. But sometimes you might want to actually do that for effect. You never know. So I'm not the kind of person that likes to look for problems in a story, but when something isn't really compelling me to move forward with it, that's something I don't dismiss. That's really kind of my barometer. There are enough haters out there. I'm not really, I used to be one of them. I used to be a hater of everything. I was like, oh, this is dumb. Comics are terrible. Who drew this way? I don't like this style, all this stuff. But to be honest with you, that's very limited thinking. It's very easy to come down on something and find fault with it. It's a lot harder to find something to appreciate about it. When you are really paying attention to something, you will take something from any story, no matter how good or how bad. That's my opinion. All right, let's do it. We got $2 single issues, and we got some really good stuff coming your way right now. Some real fire. Starting with Marvel's Greatest Comics, number 77, We got the Thing and Human Torch teaming off to go up against the Mad Thinker. This is going to go for $2. Oh, so you already saw FF. So you did see it. I have Demolition Man #3. Have you ever wanted to do the Hunka Chunka? Well, there you go. Demolition Man #3, the comic. I wonder if he actually uses the term Hunka Chunka in this. Is this a sequel? Nope, it's not a sequel. Gary Kahn did the he's the writer, and Rod Wiggum is the artist. And it is a straight up adaptation of the movie. This is part 3 of Demolition Man. One of my favorite movies. You see this, Max? Max.
Huh?
Found a Demolition Man comic. The official adaptation. What are the 3 seashells for? Static #7 is going to go for $2. Static #7 is $2. I got Sandman Distant Mirrors #50. That's going to go for $2. Amazing Adventures featuring the X-Men, Deadly's Danger Room, $2. Got a Fantastic Four book here, Fantastic Four #35. We got a foil cover here, going for $2. And then I have a really cool Wolverine run here. So this takes place during the Krakoa saga. And basically what happens is when Beast goes rogue and starts to manipulate Wolverine. So he captures Wolverine and turns him into his personalized assassin. And Beast totally is the bad guy here. So it starts with issue 28, 29. We got 30, 31, and 34. And I am going to do this set. This is actually this was the highlight of the Wolverine run that Benjamin Percy had for me. This was the best part of it. The artwork is really good here. There's some great moments. It's good reading. I'm going to do all this for $10 today. It was a 50-issue run of Wolverine, and it was pretty good. You like the M&Ms on the back. I have some G.I. Joe, IDW G.I. Joe. That is. These books are not in order. I have issue 179, 180. Snake Eyes wearing a San Diego Comic-Con badge. 181 and 182. All Snake Eyes related books here. This is going to go for $8. $8. Iron Man 227, part of the Armor Wars. This is going to go for $2. Hang on just a second, guys. Hey, Ma, I'll send them up right now. Hello? Ma? Yeah, I'll send Max out right now. No, that's fine. He should go upstairs now. He's sitting anyway. All right. Okay. He's going up. All right. Bye. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta go. Get it out of here! No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I'll see you. I'll be here when you get back. So we got Iron Man 227. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th part. No, actually, this is the 3rd part of Armor Wars. And what happens in Armor Wars is Tony Stark comes to realize that his technology is being utilized by the government and foreign governments and supervillains and all kinds of stuff without his authorization. And so he creates this, special device that basically disables his technology and everyone, whether they're good guys or not. So first he goes after Stingray, and he disables the technology on Stingray. And then he goes up after the Mandroid, which is the government-operated, adversary, and he destroys their armor too. And he keeps going on and on to do all this stuff, and he really pushes a moral. He comes across a moral dilemma, like, am I doing the right thing by coveting my technology, and can I protect the world from what my technology has the potential to do? And that's what made this a really major arc for Iron Man. I actually read Armor Wars 1, and I started Armor Wars 2, but I never finished it. So I'm going to need to get back on that when I have the opportunity. But I really enjoyed Armor Wars a lot. This is some primo Iron Man stuff here. I have some Doc Strange here. We have Doctor Strange number 13, 14, and 15, going for just $6 for Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, $6. The Prince music. Oh, you're seeing Batman 89. Oh, that's cool. You're seeing them. They're performing the score. Not really sure. That's pretty cool. All right, I have Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider special number 1, going for $2. Venom number 35, going for $2. Kneel Before Zod number 6 and number 7. That's going to go for $4. I have some Marvel Knights Spider-Man here for you guys. We got Strange and Ghost Rider. I have Marvel Knights Spider-Man. We got issue 14, 15, 16, and 17, all going for $8. $8 for Marvel Knights Spider-Man. Doom 2099 number 15 is $2. This is the time to jump on anything Doom related. And keep in mind, guys, last year I was at home slinging comics. And on Saturday, the announcement was made that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Dr. Doom. This weekend is San Diego Comic-Con. This is the event of the year, right? So I've done this show multiple times in the past. And let me just tell you, having been there as an exhibitor, this is a show where everybody is making all their announcements. And because that's the case, it's very easy for creators who aren't at the show to feel FOMO because they feel like they're not a part of it. And it's also a big deal because everybody's trying to be heard, right? Everybody's talking at the same time. They're hoping that someone hears their voice. I personally have zero FOMO for San Diego Comic-Con this year because I've just been doing so many cons. I'm tired. It's my son's birthday tomorrow. I'm totally okay with not being at New York Comic-Con. I'm just happy to be here with you. But you guys are lucky to be here with me, and I'll tell you why. Because we don't know what's going to happen, what's going to get announced this weekend, what can change. And I'll tell you right now, the very second that Robert Downey Jr. was announced to be playing Dr. Doom, guess what happened to every single Doom book? They all shot up in value. No kidding. This is the opportunity right now. It's Wednesday. The show hasn't started yet. You guys can still jump in and get some of these books for super cheap. And I'm curating these shows based on a lot of different things. And one of the things I'm curating on is what might be highly anticipated, what could get announced. I'm thinking about these things all the time. Now, Doom 2099 is a little bit different than regular Doom, but considering that we're dealing with multiverse stuff, it is not a long stretch to consider the fact that eventually there will be 2099 stuff adapted, in the future. I'll tell you this, Katrina, I've always done very well over there because the first year I did it, I was testing myself, right? I was just like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to bring 1,000 books, and I'm just going to sell through all of them, and I'm going to see how I do out there. And I did really great. I had a great show, and that was it. The next year, I tried to do more, and my artist, Giovanni Timpano, he came in from Italy, and it was a pretty overwhelming experience. Max was just born, and then I literally came back to Chicago, and a week later I was in San Diego. So I was jet lagged, I was tired, and I had new product. I hadn't really developed the understanding for how to sell that product. So it was a really exhausting show, and I came back home, I was so depressed. It was really tough. And then the next year I kind of said, okay, I kind of know what I'm doing now. I'm going to set a more realistic goal. And I had a much better show. And then I kind of started realizing as the years went by how I needed to approach San Diego Comic-Con. This is a really, really tough show to be seen and heard at. But if you just treat it like every other convention and you come in with a plan, you can actually come out of it doing fairly well. And I've never had a bad San Diego Comic-Con. I've always walked out of there with more money than I came with. So that's a really important thing. The last experience I had there, though, was exhausting. I mean, it was like straight up an episode of The Bear. I'll tell you right now, like it was terrible. So the only way I've ever been able to exhibit at San Diego Comic-Con was by subletting space from another retailer that I developed a very good relationship with, Southern California Comics. If you guys are out in that area, be sure to stop by and visit their shop. They have one of the best shops in the West, and maybe perhaps all of the U.S. To be honest with you, I've visited comic shops all over the country, and they by far have one of the largest collections and a wonderful owner, Jamie Newbold, who was very kind to sublet 2 feet of space to me, which is pretty much like, about the size of this rack here. This is all the selling space I had, right? Maybe even half of that. I would say from here down over here. So that year, 2023, that was the last time I did San Diego Comic-Con. He contacted me 2 days before the show and said, hey, I just bought another collection and I can't give you that space because I need that real estate to move through everything. And I was like, oh, crap. So I talked to Kyle, and Kyle knew another creator who was willing to sublet the same amount of real estate to me for a much cheaper price. So I walked into San Diego Comic-Con feeling really excited. And I started working, and I was doing my thing. I was in front of the table, and my neighbor got really upset with that. He didn't want me to be in front of my table. He got really intimidated. He did not like it at all. And he threatened to report me, and he was just being very aggressive and not aggressive, just adamant about not wanting me to be there, doing things the way that I was doing them. And the problem was that because I was on an inline and because I had such little space and had no space to store any of my stuff, I could literally not work. It just was not the right setup. Not his fault. It was just not proper planning on my end. So I walked over to Jamie and I said, hey, is there anything we can work out? Because I'm in a shitty situation. He goes, well, you could sell from under my table. And I was like, all right, fine. Well, fortunately, both Jamie and I had a very good first day. Somehow, I don't know how this happened. In the first 3 hours of San Diego Comic-Con that year, I, made a lot of money while moving between the small press area over to Jamie's table and selling from under Jamie's table. This all happened within 3 hours. And afterwards, Jamie said, you can come in, but you got to pay me cash in the morning. And I said, I will take care of you. So that night I went over to the bank, and it was an outdoor ATM, and it was in a very shady area. I was like walking down there, and I thought I was going to get mugged. It was really bad, but I managed to get the cash. Everything worked out. I came in the next morning super early to move all my stuff over, and I worked the rest of the weekend, and everything was perfect. And then after the show was over, I helped Jamie, and his crew get all their stuff out of the convention center. And then, we all had dinner together and we parted ways. So it worked out. But I declared to myself after that unless I have my own selling space at that show, I will never do San Diego Comic-Con again. And it's not just the convention. It's actually the unions who run that convention center. They are thieves. They are absolute thieves. They won't allow you to load in using anything but their equipment. So you can't use a 4-wheel dolly. You have to use their special equipment so that they can charge you an extra $500 or $600 just to put your stuff at your booth. It's ridiculous. So I was there for ALA last year, which was such a bad investment on my end. Usually ALA, the library convention, usually comes, or the annual Library Association conference usually comes to Chicago every year. I decided to do it on the year that it goes to San Diego. So that's where I got my taste of that. But Fabrice and I were actually talking when we were at Florida SuperCon last weekend. We're thinking about doing a split booth at San Diego next year. So we're going to be applying for that next week. So I do want to get back into San Diego at some point because it's definitely an environment where I know I can thrive in. But I have to be there. I have to get in on my own terms at this point. I have to have my own booth. I can't deal with subletting and last minute things not working out. So, we'll see what happens. Just another show, though. There's plenty of other great stuff coming up this year. So I'm excited about all of it. Superman Terminator, Lewis is going to go for $15, the whole run. Issues 1 through 4. Let me know if you want to add it. You get tired watching me at Grand Rapids. Yeah, dude, San Diego is such a brutal beast. It's only comparable to New York Comic-Con, where you just have such a huge amount of people, in one space. Just I remember the last time I was there, as a matter of fact, I wanted to go over to Boom's booth because they just released the newest edition of El Topo, which completes the entire trilogy based on the movie that Jodorowsky put out there. And Boom did a really wonderful job of publishing these really gorgeous hardcovers. And I wanted to go to their booth, but you could not get to the booth because there were just so many freaking people there that there was just no way. You couldn't squeeze a fart through that mess of people that were there. It was just that cluttered. We're not even talking traffic here. It's just literally people could not walk. So I was just stuck at my booth all weekend. It was horrendous how many people were on the floor. And when you're in those situations, much like Grand Rapids, it's you get these people who are just walking by. They're not interested in stopping. And the reason why they're not interested in stopping is because they've been walking for 30 minutes to try and get from one point of the floor to the other, and they just can't get there. They're frustrated. They're hot. They're sweaty. Everything is awful. And now you're trying to get them to buy something from you. It's not the best environment. But, when you do what I do, you have to just constantly, you have to ignore all that. You have to just keep pounding away because you don't know what they're going through. You can't read their minds for them and just assume, hey, they don't want to buy your stuff. And you also can't assume that they won't want to come back later and buy it. I'll tell you right now, at Florida SuperCon, I had such a high percentage of people who actually returned after they initially rejected purchasing books. What I do is if someone doesn't want to buy books, I'll be like, well, here's a bookmark. I write my booth number down on it, and I say, if you want to come back, here's the information. You'd be surprised how many times people actually decide to come back. And more often than not, they won't, but you just never know. And it's why you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Never leave anything on the floor when you're out there. Just put it all out there. Let the customer decide. And, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But, that was one of those situations where we had a really high comeback rate, which was great. Trust me, it's not fun for Fabrice either. For me, it's just something I'm just so used to at this point, and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the interactions. Pulling people's not fun. Pulling people is the part that sucks because it gets dirty, and especially Sundays. Sundays are always dirty days for me when like I have high stock and I have to move it. You see a version of me that I've been trying to improve as time goes on, because like I want to get stuff moved. I need to make money, and it's do or die, right? So I've become a lot more relentless. I don't want to say like I get angry and start rage selling, because that doesn't work either. But I'm definitely not afraid to talk to people. More so on Sundays than on any other day. All right, I have Cops, The Job, number 2, number 3, and number 4 going for $6. That's enough ranting for me today. And Phil, you did yourself a good service by picking up that Lex Luthor series. That's good stuff. All right, here's a hot book right here. All right, someone's gonna grab this and they're gonna come out ahead for it. Uncanny X-Men 169 going for just $2 right now. Huh. No, I never do that. What ends up happening though, I will get impatient, and I'll get impatient with the fact that it becomes harder to stop people. And that's something that I have to work on psychologically within myself. It's like, I want to sell through everything. I want to do this. And I have to kind of remind myself what I'm trying to achieve is not what matters here. It's how I present myself to the customer that does. And it's a real battle that I'm fighting with myself constantly when I'm on that floor. But Fridays are usually a bit more laid back, because I have to hit a certain quota. Of course, every day there has to be a goal. Like Fridays of every show, I have to be in the black, or I have to get to the black. So I have to cover all of my expenses by Friday. If I don't do that, then I'm cutting into my profits for Saturday and Sunday. Now, every show is different. Sometimes Fridays I make only half of what I need to do in order to cover all my costs, and then Saturday I make double all that, right? So it all varies, but usually it's it's only 2 days of real profit coming in for almost any convention, right? So it's challenging, and you are going through a lot of mental hurdles while you're doing this stuff, because you are getting rejected when you're on the floor and people are walking by, and then you get those snarky remarks from people, like people saying, "I don't read," or "I'm not here for comics," and all this. When you hear it enough times, it will fuck with your head. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are in the head. It will get under your skin eventually. And the most important thing, this is where I do battle with myself, is to really calm myself down and find what are the kind of proper responses to that situation, because like it's going to happen at every convention. It does happen at every convention. It happened at Florida SuperCon. The only reason why I was able to sell out at this show was because I was prepared for it. I talked to people who had done it before. I myself had done it before, and I knew who the audience was. This was an anime fan base. Anime fans, they're not necessarily into comics. They're more into fandom, the things that they enjoy. And they come to those cons to buy fan art and to buy knickknacks and things like that are related to the things that they're passionate about. But that doesn't mean that you can't sell them comics. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't sell them comics. But here's what it does mean. It means that their budget for comics is a lot smaller than it would be at a show that's more geared towards comics. And then there's the other extreme, which is Heroes Con, which is a comic show, right? But I did better in the first 2 days of SuperCon than I did in all 3 days of Heroes Con. How is that possible? I don't think that the people who came to Heroes Con were there to buy independent comics or to buy comics, period. They were there to get stuff signed. And they were hoping that they would have enough of a budget to get that stuff signed and then go splurge a little bit, right? But unfortunately, what happened was, and understandably so, a lot of creators started charging a lot more high premiums for their signatures, because they know that a lot of these guys are going to go and sell their books. They're going to go and flip them. So let's say you go to, here was an actual story that happened. I had a customer come by. He picked up more line 1 through 3 for me. And he felt really bad because he really wanted to get more. He was like, dude, under any other circumstance, I would have bought everything off your table just now. But I went to go get my copy of Nick's #1 signed. And I was thinking that the creator would be okay signing it for me, but he charged me $100 for it. And I was like, wow, $100 for a signature, that's not cheap. So, all these little things can affect your performance at a show, but really it's being able to work through your own mental blocks at these shows. That is the one thing that will that's the true test of your fortitude. You are truly out there defending your right to be there and defending your work. That is what conventions are. I would so buy something I already have if he did that. It's like totally. And you can't get angry at people for not having money. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes I see people, they come by and they ask questions and they're smiling and they're looking at everything and they're like, thank you. And it's almost like they're just casually putting their finger up and giving you the finger, but that's not what they're doing. They just can't afford it, and they were showing interest in it. That doesn't mean that they were necessarily trying to fuck with me or anything like that. They weren't doing that at all. They just decided it wasn't for them. That's okay. I mean, that's what I have to keep reminding myself. Like today, I went to go get my car fixed this morning, right? Now, one thing I always do is I always get oil changes and tire rotations done at the dealership where I bought my car, because they run a free diagnostic and then they tell me all the things that need to be done over there. And of course, that's where they try and make their money off of me. So if I find out that I need to have like my carbon air filter replaced, well, I can do that myself. I don't need to pay them like $200 to do it, right? So it's those kinds of small things, like or certain jobs that need to be done, I can take it to a third party and they'll do it for much cheaper and, whatever. So either way, I was over there today and I was thinking to myself, it'd be interesting to see, because I make payments on my cars every month, how much how much it would be for me to just get a different car. And Honda just released a new electric car. So I wanted to take a look at the car. Took a look at the car, realized it wasn't the right size that I needed, and that was it. Now, what did the sales guy have to do? He had to go outside in stupid hot weather, pull that car around, show it to me, just so I could say, I'm not interested. Me standing there and showing some of my books and then deciding they're not interested is way easier than having to be that guy that goes out, pulls that car around just to get rejected. That is sales. So, it takes a lot of fortitude to do it. Not easy work. Yeah, Superman Terminator is 15. All right, I have Captain America 389, 392, 394, 395, 396, and 397. Okay, got you, Lewis. That's 2, 4, 6, $12 on these Captain Americas. Claim on the the Superman Terminator. Let's see. So one more stack up there. That's that X4 series by Pat Lee and Dreamwave Studios on the art. They do really cool artwork here. It's a manga style. You got a crossover between the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and it's a 5-issue series. I will do all of it right now for $15. $15 for X4. Sensational She-Hulk, number 10 is $2. This is another big one right here. You snooze, you lose. I have Incredible Hulk 206 and 211 going for just $4. That's it, $4 on those. Two-Face, I didn't know he had a series, but Two-Face number 4 is going to go for $2. It's a pretty cool cover. Harvey and Two-Face fight at odds. All-Star Comics number 62 is $2. Justice League Unlimited number 4. Number 9 just dropped today. This has been a lot of fun. Mark Waid on writing, Dan Mora on art. This kind of picks up where Absolute Power leaves off. So after the events of Absolute Power, all the heroes were basically detained by Amanda Waller. And then afterwards, an army led by Nightwing and the other heroes managed to overcome her. And they were able to have all the heroes' powers restored. Some of the heroes had their powers switched up and everything. But it starts off with a really interesting twist at the end of issue 1, and then it just kind of keeps going from there. And they recently wrapped up an arc called We Are Yesterday, and I'm in the middle of that right now. But Justice League Unlimited, this is really, really good comics work. And if you like Mark Waid and you like Dan Mora's artwork is always sensational. The fact that he's doing this and Superman at the same time, I have no idea how he's pulling it off, but it's really, really good stuff. And this is a new comic. So if you go to a comic shop and you buy it off the rack, you're paying cover price. Here you can get it for $2. And then I have Daredevil number 8 and number 4 over here. So this is number 4. This is the A cover for it. It's one of John Romita Jr.'s covers. Now you see, like, even this cover here, this is what I'm talking about. This is from the current Daredevil run. It's not really like, I almost feel like Daredevil and Bullseye are not relating to each other much on this cover. They're not really like, it feels like Bullseye is focused on something else. He's not even making eye contact with Daredevil, and I get that Daredevil's kind of springing up on him, but, you know, I would like to see more at stake with this cover. And it's not necessarily that it's poorly drawn. It's well drawn. It's John Romita Jr. You can't get better than that. But, you know, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of lacks a little bit. And here's the issue 8 cover that he did too. And this one's a little bit better, but I mean, we've seen concepts like this done a bazillion times. And then here is a variant here. And it looks like it's like a vampire variant. Now, forget about the fact that I'm critiquing John Romita Jr.'s covers. This Daredevil series is actually a lot of fun. It's really great. It's dealing with the 7 deadly sins. And it takes place in the wake of Chip Zdarsky's run, where Daredevil actually returns from hell, and you know, everything's kind of been reset in his world, and he is now a priest, and he is fostering a bunch of orphans, and he recently gave up his Daredevil identity, but now is going back into it because he is realizing that there's evil that is taking over certain people in his life, and he has to exorcise the demons from them. So it's a really interesting run, and actually it happens to Bullseye. Bullseye gets taken over by one of the 7 deadly sins, and, you know, Daredevil's got to fight him and all that. Now they're doing something different, and overall it's been great. I've enjoyed Daredevil. It's consistent. I'll tell you that. It's consistent stuff. So if you want the 2 A covers, it's $4. And keep in mind, issue 8 is a giant-sized book because it is a legacy number 670, right? So this is a pretty big book here. But if you want all 3 books, it's $6. If you just want the A covers, it's $4. Nice and easy. Creature Commandos. Has anybody seen this show? It's really fantastic. We have 6 of 6 here going for $2. From the current Superman series, which has been so much fun. The All-In Superman has been great. I have issue 23 going for $2. This is good stuff here, guys. We got Josh Williamson and Dan Mora on this. So Dan Mora is not only doing Superman, he's also doing Justice League Unlimited. 2 monthly books together. I don't know how he's pulling it off, but apparently somehow he's got some system worked out. So I'm sure he knows what he's doing. I have Captain America 13. We got a really cool variant here. That's going to go for $2. And then I have Soldier Supreme, Infinity Warps. We got some kind of, you know, Captain America, Doctor Strange amalgamation here. This is a sketch on the cover. That's going to go for just $2. And there we go. All right. It is now officially FOMO time. So without further ado, let's do FOMO. You guys ready? It's FOMO time!
Is that an acronym for me getting a chance to play the Flash again? Oh, that's what it means. It was a good Flash! No one wants to play Flash comics on Onrie Show because of me! And I can't buy comics either because I'm a big weenie!
Oh my God, like, shut up already.
All right, we got some really fun FOMO books for you guys today. Most of it is, not all of it, all of it is 90s themed. We're going to start off with Rogue #1. We got a Mike Waringo cover here, and it's going to go for just $5. I have Spawn #53, featuring a cover by Greg Capullo and Todd McFarlane. That's $5. Spider-Man #26. We got the giant size 30th anniversary issue here. That's going to go for $5 as well. These are crazy prices on these books. They're all going for $5. Iron Man 300, the return of Ultimo, and also the return of Tony Stark getting off his lazy ass and getting into his suit and not remote controlling it anymore. This is a really, really damn good issue of Iron Man. He has a really brilliant line here. I'm going to find it here for you guys. I absolutely love this issue of Iron Man. So Ultimo gets, freed up and is basically destroying the city. And so he destroys the remote-controlled Iron Man armor. And War Machine and a bunch of Iron Man's allies, like, they have to assemble all the different armors of Tony Stark to go and fight. So they all get into these armors and they're all going to fight. So here they are. They're all getting together. It's like Happy Hogan, Pepper Potts, everybody's getting in there. And they're all being led by James Rhodes, And in the meantime, Tony Stark is having a mental battle with himself to basically overcome his paralysis state. And he was dead, but then revived and reset, and he was basically remote controlling Iron Man. But now he's stuck in this state after this battle with Ultimo, and he had this line that was really great. Okay, all right. I've learned that free will isn't a gift; it's a muscle which needs to be exercised. And only when it's in peak condition is a man truly awake. This is a very profound statement, and I think it is very true, and I apply it to everything I do in comics. Working in comics full time is the very definition of free will. But if I'm not working and I'm not pushing and I'm not doing anything, then it's not something that I can continue to do. I would have to go get a different job. I would have to be doing something else, right? So free will needs to be exercised. It's not just something that you're given. It's not a gift. It's something that you need to work at. I really love that. And Iron Man 300, this is just a damn good read. It's fantastic. Pick it up. It's only $5 right now. You will not regret it. I absolutely love this issue of Iron Man. And hey, it's got a guest appearance by War Machine and a bunch of other Iron Mans. This was some of the best Iron Man stuff back in the day. Batman Dracula by Doug Mensch and Kelly Jones and Malcolm Jones III. This is going to go for $5 as well. I have Avengers #4. This is the first appearance of Warbird, so it is a key issue. This is going to go for $5. Doom 2099. Be the person who got this book cheaper while you could. This is going to go for $5 right now. Something tells me it won't be long before this goes up in value. $5. Anything Doom right now, get your hands on it. You will not regret it. I promise. Captain America #1 by Rob Liefeld. He's leaping out into you with 2 left feet. That's $5 as well. Batman Dracula is off to Phil. Phil and Lewis, you guys are carrying this show for me today. Thank you very much. And Cap. Awesome. All right. Those are our FOMO books here. Now, a lot of people don't realize this about this Rogue book here, but the cover and the interiors were done by Mike Wieringo. Mike Wieringo was a really talented artist who passed away at a very young age. And I was at Boston Comic-Con in 2014, and I was set up next to his brother, who was putting together the Ringo Awards for the very first time. It was really exciting. I didn't think much of it at the time, but back then Baltimore was hosting the Harvey Awards. The Harvey Awards turned to the Ringo Awards, so they kind of replaced that. But Mike Wieringo was a really talented guy, and it's great to see his legacy live on. His family really wanted his memory to live on, and so they created this award for comic book excellence in honor of Mr. Ringo himself. Just a little information, a little inside information for you guys who are interested. So much interesting stuff about this industry. I love what I learn. And I'm always open to learning more. It's an endless journey, I'll tell you that. But ever so rewarding. Let's continue building on here. I have Star Wars number 38, Darth Vader number 40. This is part of a run called Dark Droids. That's going to go for $4 for these two. Champions number 2 is going to go for $2. Shirtless Bear Fighter 2 number 4 is $2. Cable number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. That's going to go for $10. $10 on all these. Web of Spider-Man number 128 is $2. What are we claiming there, Lewis? I see claim, but I don't see what you're claiming. I got your Superman Terminator claim, just so you know. So if it was that again, I got you covered on that. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver number 2 is $2. Or if you're claiming something else, just let me know. The Shadow in the Coils of Leviathan number 2 of 4 and 3 of 4. Got half your run here for $4. And it's okay, man. Most important is we get you what you're looking for. Are you going to San Diego, by the way? War Machine number 5 is $2. Incredible Hulk 380 is $2. The Bogeyman number 3 is $2. I got Marvel Knights Spider-Man number 9. That's going to go for $2. Add that to our Marvel Spidey bundle here. It's now $10 as opposed to $8. The Defenders number 1 by Giffen and DeMatteis. Journey into Mystery number 646, 648, and 649. That's going to go for $6. $6 on this. Supreme number 1 is $2. The Goon number 136 is $2. I have Unstable Molecules number 3. That's $2. The Mighty Thor Annual from 2000. That's $2. Avengers 362 is $2. Highlander number 8 is $2. The Flintstones number 12 is $2. Batman Curse of the White Knight number 8. We got Joker on the cover, $2. Final Crisis number 5 of 7 is $2. Superior Spider-Man 27 point now. Goblin Nation, $2. Doctor Strange number 55 is $2. We'll add that to our Doctor Strange pile. What's that? Doctor Strange stack. Marvel Comics Presents 157 is $2. Okay, the Spider-Man stack. We're talking about the Marvel Knights Spidey, right? Did you want this whole stack or did you just want number 9? I have 14, 15, 16, and 17 all going for 10, Phil. Just let me know if you want to add that on. Heroes Reborn Ashima number 1. That's going to go for $2. Don't snooze on this. Look who's on the cover. Okay, so the one I just showed, that was this one, right? Or the Web of Spider-Man 128. Is it this one? Or is it this one? Sorry, this Spider-Man. Let me know. This one's 5. The others are 2 a pop. Hey, Phil. No, so 1. Okay. It was this one? Let me know. Second Sight, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. This is from Aftershock. You get 5 issues going for $10. It wasn't that issue. And it wasn't that Spider-Man 26. So which other Spider-Man is there? There's this Web of Spider-Man here. We're talking about this one. Can you remind me what was on the cover? I'm sorry, there's so much stuff up here. I'm like kind of flabbergasted. Black and White number 17, 18, and 19. This is the Warrior Nun. Okay, you can't. Hold on. It went by too fast. Okay, $6 on the set. Let me pull down every Spider-Man book. I'll show it off to you, and then you'll tell me which one you're looking for. And I will pull that one. We'll go slower. Make sure I didn't have any Spidey books over here. Okay. Is it this one? Superior Spider-Man 27 point now? Let me know if that was the one you were looking for. I'll set it off to the side. And then we have the Spider-Man 26, which was the FOMO. We have Web of Spider-Man 128. That's going for $2. This one's 5. I'll put that one. Okay, that was the one. Gotcha. All right, we got it sorted out. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate your patience. Sorry I was going so fast. Spectacular Spider-Man. No, it's Superior Spider-Man, not Spectacular. All right, awesome. All right, are we filled up on here yet? Okay, I think we are. All right, I'm going to give you guys a chance here to jump on any of the new stuff I just showed off. I'm going to highlight a couple items, and then I'm going to just put this stuff away. We'll put it back in circulation. You guys will have another shot at these books. I'm just going to pull out the all-stars that I think really deserve an honorable mention before we move on to other things, the bigger, better things here. This is from today's new stuff. No, all good, Phil. It's hearing what I wanted to hear. All right. These are the standout books from today's collection that remain. Again, you'll see these books again, probably on Friday. I have Static number 7. I think anything Static should be picked up just because of its novelty, and the artwork is really great in these books. It's going to go for just $2. Superman 23, again, you can't go wrong with this series. It's really fantastic. You go to any comic shop, you're going to pay $5 for this. You can get it right now for $2. That's more than half off. Demolition Man 3, pretty obscure book here. Didn't expect to find this out in the wild, but here we are. We have Demolition Man. I didn't even know they made a comic about it. $2 on that. Incredible Hulk 206 and 211. Got some old comics here for super cheap. They're in pretty good shape. I would say they're mid-grade books. If they were higher grade, they would be selling for more than just $2 right now. But, you can get these books, take good care of them, and they'll hold up pretty well for you. They're not that beat up. This is going to go for $4. Sensational She-Hulk number 10. That's $2. I tend to jump on anything She-Hulk related, even though the She-Hulk series wasn't received that well. There's still potential with that character. Apparently, I think she is going to show up in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Iron Man 227. Anytime you can jump on Armor Wars and get an issue for super cheap, you should do it. $2 on this. Uncanny X-Men 169. This is a steal for this book. $2. Justice League Unlimited number 4, $2. And finally, Doom 2099-15, $2 on that. If you guys are interested in claiming any of these books, just let me know. I have set them aside. I'm going to put all this other stuff away too, and we're going to build out another rack here for you. It's good stuff in today's collection. And hey, it's Fantastic Four week. We got issue 35 here going for $2. Okay, Doom gets claimed. I just bought, before we went on the air today, I bought this series called Books of Doom. And it's really expensive. Each issue is like $15. I've spent so much money on it, but I did find a couple of the issues in a dollar bin. So I needed to plug my run, and I got issues 2, 3, and 4 today, and another copy of 5 for about $35. It's pretty pricey, exchange there, right? But I'll tell you why I did it, because this is a big weekend, and if I want to get this series now before it sells out or goes up in value, now's the time to do it. I snoozed and lost on another book, right, that I was looking for. So as I've told you guys, I'm really into a lot of the crossovers that are being done right now, like Superman and Aliens and Batman and Aliens. So there is a second series for Batman Alien, and I got the first 2 issues, and I had an opportunity to get the 3rd issue, but I didn't act fast enough. And this is the cover for it right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but see how it's like the alien with the Joker on it? I could have had this book for $15. Now, no matter where I look, it is going for $40 on up. It is so expensive. Someone is calling me. Give me just 1 second. This could be important. So, hello? Hello? Yeah. It is an ouch. It sucks. I just hope that I'll be able to find it at a later point at a cheaper price. We'll see. But now I got to wait for it. And I could have I could have bought it for $15 and it wouldn't even be an issue. I would have it already. But because I waited too long, I was gun shy, and I had my reasons for being gun shy too. It's the same reason why anybody's gun shy. It's because we don't have money, right? So, that's one of those situations where I did regret it, I am regretting it right now, because how am I going to get this book? I can't pay $50 for that book. There's nothing, no matter what I do right now, I can't justify spending that insane amount of money on a comic book. Especially one that doesn't really have the potential to really go beyond the point of value where it's currently at, you know? Now, why is it valued that high? It's because it had a super small print run. This was a series that was published in 2003. I'd be better off just getting the trade and calling it a day. But you know me, I'm a single issue guy. I'm just like you guys. I like to hunt and find those good deals. I'm shopping for myself just as much as I'm shopping for you guys when I'm going through dollar bins too. I have found some really great stuff, and I'm always looking for stuff for you guys too. Batman Aliens 2 number 3. This is it, Roberto. Graham Crackers Online was selling it for $15. Now I cannot find that book for under $40. There is one copy that's selling for $27.99, but it is being shipped from Canada for an extra $22. It's pretty nutty, I say. Pretty nutty. Okay, now I'm busting out books that I showcased yesterday that you might have missed out on if you weren't watching my show on the experience yesterday. These are the books that I have that I picked up from North Shore Comics, combined with some stuff that I got from Graham Crackers out in Downers Grove. I have Red Hulk number 2. This has been a really great series. This has actually made me a fan of the character. This is going to go for $2. I have Incredible Hulk Last Call number 1 going for $2. The New Teen Titans number 11 is $2. Ghost Rider Marvel Knights, Clayton Crane and Garth Ennis story that went for 6 issues. Really great artwork. Interesting story. $2. Yondu number 1 is $2. Deadpool Wolverine Weapon Extraction number 1 is $2. Barbaric Born in Blood number 3, $2. This is a pretty fun series. I enjoyed it. You want to know what's funny? You guys notice how the Hulk has the same pose in both of those covers? The exact same pose. Green Hulk and Red Hulk. They're cramping each other's styles here. Deadpool Wolverine, I got you. Superman Day of Doom, Funeral for a Friend. That's going to go for $2. Life of Wolverine, number 1 is $2. Hercules from Dynamite, number 2 is $2. Flash Forward, number 1, $2. Batman 155. I'm shocked I still have this. This is from Chip Zdarsky's run. This is a really, really great and underrated run of Batman. I think Chip did a solid job writing Batman. And his Captain America's off to a good start too. Though, here's something that's kind of ticking me off about Marvel right now. They keep killing off their characters to replace them with somebody else. And I feel like that's what they're doing right now with Captain America. They're trying to do away with Steve Rogers so that they can bring in another Captain America. Just give us Steve Rogers. I don't want another Captain America. I just want Steve Rogers. That's it. Sam Wilson, I'm cool with too, but I mean, I want Steve Rogers. We don't need another Captain America who's going to be bigger and better than Steve Rogers. Just keep Steve Rogers give him the shield. Dead Eyes, The Empty Frames, number 1 is $2. G.I. Joe #1 is $2. Well, it's not even that Steve is white. I mean, to me, it's kind of silly. I mean, that's what a lot of people who are critiquing Ironheart are complaining about, is the fact that there's no way that she would be able to be smarter and able to build a suit of Iron Man armor without the funds and without the experience that Tony Stark has. That is a very legitimate argument, and I agree 100%. I don't care how smart you are. It doesn't matter. Like, Tony Stark's a genius, and even he needed money to build an advanced Iron Man suit. Like the way Ironheart, her costume, or the way her armor works, it's more advanced than Iron Man's armor, or it's on the same level. So I understand people's critique of the character. And I've seen the show, by the way. I really liked Ironheart. Though I will say she's the least interesting part about the show. Facts. Don't care about the character. You can't make me care about the character. But I do like what they did with her, because she's not a superhero. She is actually, working with a lot of villains in that. And they did a great job with the Hood. They did a great job with Ironheart's AI. I thought that was awesome. And they also did a really good job with changing things up, like the Slug. If you guys remember, the Slug in the comics is like this fat Kingpin, second-tier Kingpin type character. They actually changed his character and made him trans. I think that was a perfect call. Change it up. This is not a character that is the same, needs to be the same as he is in the comics. Change it up. Do something different. Make it interesting. So they did do a lot of cool stuff. But again, Ironheart herself, she's not really an interesting character for me. I feel like there's not enough there to make me really compelled. And I don't think we needed a show based on her. But we got it, and it was not a bad show. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Lewis, for pointing it out too. That Riri is black and Steve is white. And guess what? We got up next. We have Redcoat #3 and 7. This is going to go for $4. And then I also have Batman 108 to go with that 155. That's going to go for $2. I paid like $5 or $6 for my copy of Batman 108. You can get it right now for a lot cheaper, $2. Avengers Twilight #6. This is going to go for $2. I'll tell you who I really would like them to recast. I really want somebody else in. I really want them to get rid of Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, Bruce Banner. He's not Bruce Banner to me. I liked Edward Norton more, but even Ed Norton was not the right person. I feel like you need somebody who is really neurotic to play Bruce Banner. I want something more extreme, and I don't think we're going to get it. We're stuck with Mark Ruffalo. He sells tickets. X-Force #3 is $2. I like Mark Ruffalo as an actor. I just don't like him as Hulk. And he totally killed it for me in Endgame when they did the whole smart Hulk thing. I think that could have been handled a lot better. It was a little too comedic. And Lewis, just so we're clear, Hulk is green. We got Amazing Spider-Man #26 going for $2. Marvel Comics Presents #58 is $2. The Dreaming #18 is $2. And we have the Sandman #72 going for $2. And the Sandman, Lewis, just so you know, is canceled. Hey! So I heard really good things about season 2 of The Sandman. I heard it's amazing. A lot of people really, really like it. Here's another book that people snoozed on. Hope you guys won't. Daredevil #3. This is actually a really early appearance of Cole North, who has been a pretty pivotal character in the ongoing Daredevil series. I think his first appearance is issue 2, but this by itself cost me $10 when I picked it up last year, because I built this entire run from scratch for myself and have it. I wasn't the most impressed with Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. It had its moments for sure. Marco Cicchetto's artwork on it was fantastic, and Marco's actually currently drawing Ultimate Spider-Man, which has been fire, absolute fire. But yeah, Zdarsky's Daredevil was not that was not my favorite, but his Batman was fantastic. I actually really liked it. Secret Invasion number 3 of 8 is $2. Detective Comics 633 is $2. United States of Captain America number 4 is $2. Superior 4 number 2 is $2. Superman number 12, we got a variant here going for $2. Spider Women Omega number 1 is $2. Ben Reilly the Scarlet Spider number 15 is $2. We got Rogue number 3 going for $2. Green Arrow number 3 from Kevin Smith's run. Number 16, this is when Meltzer picks up, and number 18. Grab all 3 of the Green Arrows. It's $6. So, Phil, have you been able to see Superman yet in Germany? And can you see it in English, or is it all in German? We got 3, 16, and 18. I know you were looking for 13. So, Lewis, I do have issue 13. It's in my personal collection, and I can pull it for you because I'm not really doing anything with it right now anyway, and I can just find another copy down the road. So, just remind me after the show. Just message me, and I'll price it out for you. I'm not sure. My copy that's coming from my personal collections can go for a little bit more. Just being honest with you, because I didn't find it in the dollar bin. I paid full. I paid a back issue price for it. Oh, that's cool. No, Philip Ragusa. I was talking to Phil, Chill Phil. But Philip Ragusa, did you see Superman? Yeah, Lewis, I'll be fair with you on price too, so I'm not going to like just jack it up. You're not going to spend like $15 on this book. Let me just see let me just dig it up. Let me look it up on eBay. Let me see what it's going for. If it's going for like under $5, I'll do it for you at $2. That's not a big deal. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll cut you a deal. You do a lot of business with me. I'll take care of you. And Mike Storm, if you're watching this, I found your Marvel team up. You asked me if I still have this book, and I do. Let me just confirm that right now. Message you on Insta. Your book is in your pile. Boom. Got Web of Venom Wraith number 1. This is a really badass cover. $2. No worries, Mike. I got you, buddy. As soon as I saw that book, I put it off to the side for you. About the the technology side of things is cool, and I actually, are you guys? If anybody's okay with me spoiling it, I really like the armor she gets at the end of the show. I thought that was really cool, and how she put everybody together to build out the armor and everything like that. Like, I can't say that I hate her as a character, that I wish she didn't exist. I just wish she was more interesting. And even though the show took place in Chicago, I just really I didn't connect with her at all as much as I connected with the Hood. The Hood was like, holy crap, I get this guy, I see what he's struggling with. I feel this character out, especially when he had his confrontation with his father. Everything about him was really well done. And I think Riri, the most interesting thing about her arc was that she was having a real crisis of conscience of hey, I need to do these bad things and work with these people in order to get money so that I can fix my armor and do all these things. But, come on. I mean, the armor she developed, it's there's no way, even if you were at MIT, that you could get away with building a suit of armor like that, because that thing is a freaking weapon. You don't think the military would seize that in a heartbeat? before she even got kicked out of school. Like, I don't buy it. You know what I mean? But all that said, Roberto, I can forgive that because it was a good show and I enjoyed it. Did I like seeing Riri in action? Absolutely. I loved it. They did a great job with that show. There's a lot of good in Ironheart. Overall, it was a fantastic show. And the way they brought Sacha Baron Cohen in to play Mephisto, fantastic. I did not think Borat could pull this off, but he pulled it. He not only pulled it off, he made me a fan of Mephisto. And let me tell you guys something about Mephisto. This guy here is going to be so tied to Doctor Doom. He is the bane of Doctor Doom's existence. I don't know if they're going to tie it together in the movies, but you wouldn't just cast someone like Sacha Baron Cohen to play Mephisto on Ironheart for one episode. You got to have big plans because that guy's not cheap. That guy is not just somebody who's just going to pop in once. Mephisto and Doctor Doom, they have a very tumultuous relationship. In fact, I mentioned this yesterday on The Experience. I do believe that the reason why Doctor Doom feared... Roberto, you and I had conversations about this before. There's a very thin line between what makes Iron Man a hero and what makes Doctor Doom a villain. But what pushes Doctor Doom over that line is Mephisto. That motherfucker is the one who pushes Doctor Doom over to the evil side because he knows how to push Doctor Doom's buttons more than Reed Richards or Ben Grimm do. And he has cards that he can play against Doctor Doom. The reason why Doctor Doom is obsessed with sorcery is because he wants the best Mephisto. He hates Mephisto. And Mephisto, man, he knows how to play his cards, like especially with Thanos. A lot of people didn't realize this, but in Infinity Gauntlet, it's all Mephisto who's actually trying to help Thanos hook up with Death because Thanos is in love with Death. The original reason why Thanos got the Infinity Gauntlet and all those emeralds and destroyed half the world was not for balance. He didn't give a shit about balance. He wanted to win the heart of Death, Lady Death. He was infatuated with her. And no matter what he did for her, no matter how many people he killed, it wasn't enough for her. He went so far out of his way to impress her. And it was such a perfect, it was Shakespearean. It was so perfect. I absolutely loved it. But who was in his corner? Who was his wingman? This motherfucker right here, Mephisto. It was so good. I absolutely love that. So I honestly think if you're going to cast someone like Sacha Baron Cohen to play Mephisto, you got to have big plans for him. And there's no one better to play that role. Someone who can be both comedic and serious at the same time. You know, that is perfect. Because Mephisto, he comes off being almost kind of like a pushover. You know, you look at his demeanor, he's really skinny, kind of like, he looks like a clown almost, right? You know, he's in these like red tights and everything like that, but he has so much power and so much manipulation. He is a phenomenal character. What's up, K-pop? How you doing? Okay, so you want Captain America, Iron Man, and Avengers. Okay. Which Captain America, which Iron Man, and what you wanted this Avengers and this Iron Man, but which Captain America did you want? Philip Ragusa. Are we talking about these books too? They're going for $5 apiece, just so you know. And Philip, let me know. I'll be patient with you. You let me know what you're looking for. Yeah, that Mephisto surprise was fantastic. Great way to end the series. You met Thanos. He's actually a really nice guy. He is. But if he's trying to get in with the ladies, you better stay out of his way. Okay, Philip, I got your 2 claims on Iron Man and Avengers. Which Captain America were you looking for? Can you give me a hint here? And can you imagine Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom and Sacha Baron Cohen's Mephisto like in the same room and having a very serious conversation? You know, here's what Mephisto holds over Doctor Doom. This is all shown in Infamous Iron Man. He has Doctor Doom's mother's soul. So, of course, he lords it over Doom. and he tries to manipulate Doom. In fact, Mephisto is the main villain of Infamous Iron Man. You know, much like how he has his role in Ironheart. And Ironheart's conclusion, that showed me that there is actual potential with Ironheart as a character. She's not a Tony Stark ripoff. She did kind of start off that way, particularly in the comics, like she was kind of like his protege. But I think that they've done a really good job. This is where I'll give her credit as a character for being different, set apart from Tony Stark in almost every way. She's not the same. She's not the same. Captain America Reborn. What was the Captain America Reborn? Which one was that? Oh, I think Phil called that, but hold on a second. I have another copy of it. So Philip Ragusa, I can do this one. It's the same book, but it's just a different cover. I can do it for the same price, $5. Let me know if you want to take that one instead. It's the same exact book, just a different color. Phil Riley, Chill Phil, he took the other Captain America. Okay, cool. So we got that. Awesome. I love it when I can make things work out for you guys. Best part about being a dealer. All right, X-Men Annual #1, Shatter Shot. Really epic cover here, $2. And don't be surprised if something isn't announced about X-Men soon. Probably not for a while. I think they're going to want to play out everything in Secret Wars before we see anything with X-Men. But I wouldn't be surprised if they started announcing more details about it, because we know who the director is going to be. The guy who directed Thunderbolts, he's directing the X-Men, and I think that's a perfect choice. Thunderbolts was really well done. I won't be using your Christian name. Got it. I'll use your Jewish name, Phil. I got Uncanny X-Men #180 and 181 going for $4. Hellblazer #57, $2. We got 4 FOMO books left. Now, we have had a really great return to live sales, I have to say, and I'm so grateful to you guys. Last night, we sold through all of our FOMO books. Thanks to Phil, and thanks to everybody else who came in and grabbed FOMO books. Now, I have 4 FOMO books left. I think all of them are hot for their own reasons. I'm going to show them off again right now, and they're all super cheap. Rogue #1, we got a Mike Wear and Go cover here, going for $5. Spider-Man #26, part of the giant-sized 30th anniversary collection here. This is a $10 book all day. I'm doing it for $5 right now. This is a real steal here. Doom 2099 #1 going for $5. Again, another $10 book. And Spawn #53 going for $5 right now. Now, spawns that are in the 50 to 100s range, they had very low print runs, and they tend to go for a little bit more money, especially as we get into the 100 range. Once you're like early hundreds, that stuff is a lot more expensive. I would really like to see full sell-throughs on all of our FOMO books this week. That would be so awesome. And I promise you guys, the FOMO books that I've set aside for our Fantastic Four show for Friday, if you guys have read the newsletter that I send out on a weekly basis, none of them are actually Fantastic Four related. They're all different books, but they're all incredible. We got a Battle Beast, surprise bag in there, and some other stuff too. Okay, so 3 FOMO books left, and they're the hottest ones: Doom 2099, Spider-Man 26, and Spawn #53. Have at it. They are just fantastic. K-pop took the words right out of my mouth. I have Punisher: The Platoon by Garth Ennis and Goran Parlov, #4 and #5. That's going to go for $4. just a second, guys. Another epic stack here. Immortal Hulk, number 42, the nullified variant, is $2. Oh, the holofoil one. Wolverine, number 41, $2. Crazy the things we did as kids in our comics. I mean, I've had all these books at some point or another. I have them now in my personal collection. So, like, one thing I've been really happy about since I got divorced, I've been able to really build up my comic collection, my personal comic collection. And I've bought like a bunch of books that I had to give up when I moved and got married initially. So I was able to build up a lot of stuff. And there's still things I want to get. So, Phil, you want to get Batman 500? No problem. I got you. And yeah, I mean, it's been quite a journey. But one thing I woke up this morning and I'm like, the next thing that would be really cool to start building back up would be a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man run. And I'm like, that's going to be a pricey endeavor. And I have most of Secret Wars, the original issues. I'm just missing a few key issues, like 8, of course. And can you believe it? When I first started slinging comics, I actually came across a copy of Secret Wars, the entire set 1 through 12 for $40, that I then had signed by Jim Shooter and Mike Seck and flipped for like $200, which is still super cheap considering that issue 8 now is worth about that price. Crazy. Dr. Aphra number 37, $2. Amazing Spider-Man 908, $2. Suicide Squad 20 is $2. The 2021 Batman Annual, $2. Batman and Robin 18 is $2. Spider-Man 2099 number 5 is $2. And I got some Daredevils here. I have a big stack of Daredevils. I have Daredevil 264, 267, 272, 273, 275. And you know what's interesting about this? John Romita Jr. did all these covers too. Did the interiors as well. 277, but they're so much more dynamic. Look at this. Look at how him and Heart of Darkness are actually relating to each other here. 279, Mephisto's in there. 280 and 281. I'm doing all 10 of these books here for $15. If you pick out one single issue, they're $2 a pop. But if you grab the whole stack, it's $15. That's $1.50 per book for all these Daredevils. Don't mix up Daredevil with the Flash. I know it's an easy thing to do, but no, they're two totally different characters. One is cool, the other one sucks. And if I've offended you because you're a Daredevil fan, I'm sorry. King the Conqueror, number 3, number 4, and number 5. This is a 5-issue series. It is phenomenal. It's a revenge story with a love twist that is very tragic. I love it. King is a victim of time and his own. It's a very much a chicken or the egg story. What came first? King, the guy who trained himself, who went back in time to teach himself how to become a conqueror, or the king that was wronged and took his quest for vengeance too far? This is a great series. Kyle and I actually had a pretty epic conversation about it on the Experience last night. Grabbed this set here for $6. I actually love that Kyle jumped into the show. I wasn't expecting it, but like he did, and we had this great conversation. Blood Hunt number 4, part of a 5-issue series. This is where Doom becomes Sorcerer Supreme here, by the way. Doesn't happen in this issue. It happens in the issue afterwards. But if you want Blood Hunt, I highly recommend jumping on it. especially at this price. I'm doing it for $2. That is a key arc right there, and will forever be so. All right, I'm going to go over everything on the bottom row again because we're getting close to the end of our show here. I'm going to have to wrap up on time today because I got to get my son over to his swimming lesson in an hour. So we're wrapping up today's show, and I want to thank everybody who participated in today's live sale. That really means a lot to me. I'll be back on the air on Friday for our Fantastic Four show. I have a huge long box of Fantastic Four books, and we're just going to go through them. I'm going to go see the movie tomorrow. I'm going to kind of curate the show a little bit, but I also have some FOMO books set aside, and I'll also be recirculating some of these books here too. So if you missed out on it today, no big deal. If you want to claim after hours like Mike Storm did, you can. Like Phil did last night. Phil also claimed some books last night that I put aside for him. So I have no problems doing that for you guys. The books are available. You can claim them at any point. I want you to have these books. I don't want to keep them from you. Okay. So without further ado, I have Superman Man of Steel number 19 going for $5. I have House of Secrets 92, the foil facsimile, first appearance of Swamp Thing going for $15. Comics Interview number 144. Got Bad Girls on the cover. Interviews with Don McGregor and Richard Howell. That's going to go for $20. Web of Spider-Man 125 is going to go for $5. Wolverine 36. We got a Joe Quesada variant cover going for $5. Uncanny X-Men 350. $5 on this. Daredevil 200 is going to go for $10. Spawn 15 is going to go for $5. Sometimes I have some loose wizards that are right here. Actually, they've been staring me in the face for a while. K-pop. I have Wizard 182 and 223. They're both going for just $2. But one of them's like the Civil War. Marvel Civil War. This is like in the final days of it. And then this is when Kraven the Hunter returned. You guys all remember Wizard Magazine? What a shame that it's no longer there. I love it. Marvel Spotlight on Nick Fury number 31 is $2. Those are your babies, huh? New Mutants number 1 is $10. The all-new Flash TV special, no one wanted it. I'm not shocked. It's going for $3. That's why no one wants it. Maybe I should raise the price or lower the price. I don't know. Requiem for Dracula number 1 is $3, and Incredible Hulk 270 is $5. This is a very fine copy. The Rocket Raccoon is mentioned for the first time in this book. He's not seen. This is not his first appearance, but he is mentioned on the very last page that in the next issue he will show up. This is going to go for $5. Dracula off to Phil. Okay. Oh my gosh, Philip Ragusa took the Flash TV special. This wasn't supposed to sell here. No way. No way. Well, Philip Ragusa, you're $2 away from getting a spin on the wheel. So both the Phils got spins on the wheel today. If Philip Ragusa decides to claim one more book within the next minute or so. Oh, you were sitting there considering it. Yeah, Philip Ragusa, you're $2 away from a spin. I'm going to showcase our FOMO books one more time. We got Doom 2099 number 1. I can't believe you guys slept on this. $5 on this. This is a crazy cheap deal on this book. Spawn 53, $5 on this. And Spider-Man 26, the 30th anniversary, $5. I can't go lower on these books than I already have. These are half-price books, literally. It doesn't seem like it. You would think, nah, who cares? But Doom 2099 number 1, that's going to be a trending book soon. All right, Doom 2099 is off the Phil. Good call, Phil. You can never have enough Doom 2099. I'm going to regret selling that to you at that price. Just like I did that Ultimate Spider-Man number 1. Man. Got to have them in your collection. Absolutely. Spider-Man 26, the 30th anniversary. Again, that's a great issue. I actually really like it. Some early Mark Bagley work in there. Good stuff. Okay. Philip Ragusa, you got another minute, 1 minute to make a $2. Oh, actually, hold on. He did. No, Phil made that. Phil Riley, Chill Phil got Doom 2099. Phil Ragusa, you missed it. So you got one more shot. Find a $2 book on there. Let's see if there's something up there. I have Superman Man of Steel number 19 that you might like. Phil Ragusa going for $5. Let me see if and there's the Superman number 12 variant going for $2. Let me know if you'd want to do that. That was my era of Spidey too, K-pop. I love that era of Spidey. Philip Ragusa, you got a minute to pick a $2 comic. Anything that's up on the board. If you want that spin. If not, that's okay. It's not a big deal. In that case, Phil Riley is the only one who's getting a spin today. Okay. You want the 2 books. All right. You got it. Nailed it. Okay, it is time to spin the wheel of Skidbark. Let's do this. Clockwise for Phil Riley. No problem, brother. I got you. All right, let's do this.
It's time to spin the wheel of Skidbark.
All right, we're doing a clockwise spin for Phil Riley. Phil Riley gets a free DC book. I am going to hook you up with, let's see here, what can I give you? It's a good DC book. I'm going to give you Sandman number 72. That's for you, Phil. And now, Philip Ragusa. You get a free DC book. And since you called The Flash, I'm going to give you New Teen Titans number 11 because I think I can sell someone that Flash book. So there we go. All right, guys. Thank you very much for shopping with me today or just hanging out with me, helping the algorithm. You guys know I always appreciate and love all of you. I will be off tomorrow. Tomorrow is Alan, my younger son's birthday, so we're going to celebrate by going to see Fantastic Four. And I will be back on Friday, informed and ready to sell you guys some Fantastic Four books, showcase some good stuff, and have a good time as always. We'll have new FOMO books, new everything. Come on by. It's going to be a good time for all. So I will see you guys on Friday afternoon, same time, same bat time, same bat schedule. 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. This will be the final show of the week. After Friday, I will send out invoices for all the shows dating all the way back to our Superman themed show. And then once you guys get caught up on that, I will send out your stuff and we'll be all good to go for next week. So thank you so much. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Take care, guys.